Imagine this. In the next few years, you could be paying twice as much in rent for the same flat, or struggling to find a decent job in a city where unemployment is rising. What if your dream city becomes unaffordable, unsafe, or just plain unlivable? Sounds crazy, right? But that's the reality for millions of people living in some of the UK's biggest cities right now. London, Manchester, Birmingham, all once booming, vibrant cities, are now facing a future that's not so bright. Rent is skyrocketing, job opportunities are dwindling, and even air quality is becoming a major health risk. It's a ticking time bomb, and unless you're prepared, it could completely derail your plans for the future. As we approach 2025, some of these cities are heading for a crisis, and today we're going to reveal the top 10 UK cities that could leave you stuck with high costs, low quality of life, and no way out. But here's the twist. Many of these places are still on your radar, still considered great places to live, but behind the glossy headlines, there's a different story. By the time 2025 rolls around, it might be too late to escape. So if you're serious about your future and don't want to be caught in a city on the decline, keep watching, because we're about to dive into the cities you must leave before it's too late. Number 10. Edinburgh. Edinburgh, the picturesque capital of Scotland, is known for its stunning architecture, rich history, and vibrant cultural scene. But beneath the beauty lies a growing problem that's making it harder for many people to stay: the soaring cost of living. Once considered a relatively affordable city, Edinburgh is now facing one of the highest rent hikes in the entire UK. In fact, rent prices have jumped by nearly 30% in just the last 5 years. That's not a typo, 30%. For those living in the city, this means paying significantly more for less space, with many renters forced to move further out from the city centre just to find something affordable. Even worse, wages in Edinburgh haven't kept up with these rapid increases. A city that was once seen as a haven for students, young professionals, and families is quickly becoming a place where only the wealthy can truly thrive. But it's not just rent that's skyrocketing. Everyday living costs are on the rise too. Groceries, transport, dining out, all of these expenses have been steadily climbing, making it increasingly difficult for people to live comfortably without constantly stretching their budget. In fact, Edinburgh now ranks among the top 10 most expensive cities in the UK, which is a huge shock when you compare it to its former status as a relatively affordable city. For many, this means a constant financial struggle, and the dream of staying in Edinburgh might soon become an impossible one. So if you're thinking about settling here, you need to ask yourself, can I afford to live in Edinburgh in the long run? If not, it might be time to look elsewhere before prices keep climbing. Number 9. Newcastle. Newcastle, a city once known for its thriving industries and vibrant culture, is now grappling with a stagnating job market that's leaving many workers uncertain about their future. The truth is, job opportunities in Newcastle are declining, especially in key sectors like manufacturing, technology, and business services. Once a hub for these industries, Newcastle now finds itself struggling to adapt to the evolving economy. Over the past decade, the city has faced job losses in several sectors, and the ones that remain haven't been able to keep up with the growing population. Many recent graduates and young professionals are finding it increasingly difficult to secure well-paying, full-time roles in their field. With fewer opportunities in high-demand industries, individuals are being forced to look outside the city for work, making it less appealing for those who are starting out in their careers or looking for long-term job security. Unemployment rates in Newcastle are now higher than the national average, and the local economy has been slow to recover from the economic shifts of recent years. It's also important to note that wages in the city have barely budged while living costs continue to rise, leaving many people stuck in low-paying jobs without any real growth opportunities. For those looking to build a stable career, the outlook in Newcastle is becoming increasingly uncertain. While Newcastle still offers a fantastic quality of life with its stunning landmarks and vibrant nightlife, the declining job market might make it harder to live comfortably and achieve long-term career success. If you're considering moving to Newcastle or staying in the city for the future, it might be time to rethink your decision, especially if job security is a priority. Number 8. Bristol. Bristol, a city celebrated for its creativity, vibrant arts scene, and progressive culture, is now facing a growing issue that's making it harder for long-term residents to call it home: gentrification. As this city gains popularity, particularly among young professionals and tech entrepreneurs, the demand for housing has exploded. However, the rapid gentrification of certain neighborhoods has pushed out many long-time residents, and the rising cost of living is making it increasingly difficult for the average person to afford to live here. One of the biggest issues facing Bristol is its housing market, which has become extremely competitive and unaffordable for many. The price of buying a home or even renting in the more desirable parts of the city has surged. In fact, rental prices have jumped by more than 20% in just the last 5 years, leaving renters with fewer options and more expensive alternatives. What's more, this is happening at a time when wage growth in the city has been sluggish, meaning many people are being priced out of the very neighborhoods they've lived in for years. This shift has made gentrification a major problem, as new developments and trendy cafes continue to pop up in areas like Stokes Croft and Bedminster. Long-standing local businesses and residents are being pushed out in favor of high-end developments and luxury housing. While the city is becoming increasingly attractive to wealthier individuals, it's causing a cultural shift that threatens the diversity and accessibility of its neighborhoods. If you're a first-time home buyer or someone looking for affordable housing, Bristol's rising costs and gentrification trends are definitely worth considering. The dream of living in Bristol might soon become out of reach for many, so if you're not yet settled here, it could be wise to explore other options before the market becomes even more competitive. Number 7. Sheffield. Sheffield, a city once known for its industrial legacy and beautiful green spaces, is now grappling with a significant decline in its quality of life. While it still boasts an impressive skyline and scenic views of the surrounding countryside, many aspects of daily life in Sheffield have taken a turn for the worse in recent years. The city is facing cuts in essential public services, and its local infrastructure is beginning to show signs of wear and tear. One of the biggest concerns for residents is the reduction in public services. Over the last decade, Sheffield has been hit hard by austerity measures, resulting in severe cuts to schools, healthcare, and public transport. This has led to longer waiting times for medical care, increased pressure on local schools, and less reliable transport options. For families and individuals who rely on these services, it's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain the same standard of living they once enjoyed. Additionally, the city's housing market is starting to reflect the decline in quality of life. While Sheffield's housing prices are still lower than those in cities like London or Manchester, they have begun to rise, with many neighborhoods seeing a slow but steady increase in rent prices. Unfortunately, wages haven't been growing at the same pace, making it harder for young professionals and low-income families to find affordable accommodation. The gap between wages and housing costs is creating a sense of financial strain for many residents. While Sheffield still offers a certain charm and community spirit, the declining quality of life in the city is becoming hard to ignore. For those looking for a city with a higher standard of living, better services, and more opportunities, Sheffield might no longer be the best option. It may be time to consider other cities that offer a more balanced lifestyle. Number 6. Glasgow. Glasgow, Scotland's largest city, has long been celebrated for its vibrant culture, rich history, and friendly atmosphere. But behind its bustling streets and lively arts scene, there's a growing concern that has become impossible to ignore: rising crime rates. While the city has made remarkable strides in improving its economy and infrastructure in recent years, crime, particularly violent crime, is becoming a major issue, and it's pushing many residents to reconsider their future in Glasgow. In recent years, Glasgow has seen a significant increase in crime, especially in certain districts. Violent crime, including gang-related incidents, has risen steadily, leading to growing fears over personal safety. According to police reports, violent crimes have jumped by nearly 10% in the past 5 years, and gang activity remains a troubling issue in several neighborhoods. This surge in crime is not only affecting locals, but also discouraging potential new residents from moving to the city. What's more alarming is that this increase in crime isn't limited to just one area. It's becoming widespread, with certain neighborhoods facing higher rates of theft, assault, and drug-related offenses than ever before. While efforts have been made to tackle these issues, the reality is that crime rates in Glasgow are continuing to climb, and for many, the threat to safety is simply too high to ignore. For those who value personal safety and peace of mind, this rising crime wave is a major red flag. While Glasgow still offers an array of attractions and a lively community, its increasing crime rates are making it less attractive for those looking for a secure place to live. If safety is a top priority for you, it may be time to consider other cities where crime rates are lower and your well-being isn't constantly at risk. If you found this video eye-opening, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Which city surprised you the most? Don't forget to hit subscribe for more in-depth content like this. It's just one click, and it helps us keep bringing you the best. Number 5. Leeds. Leeds, known for its thriving dynamic nightlife and bustling business district, is facing a growing housing crisis that's becoming increasingly hard to ignore. While the city is still considered one of the top destinations for young professionals and families, it's quickly turning into one of the most unaffordable cities in the UK. The demand for housing is far outweighing the supply, causing prices to skyrocket, making it more difficult for people to find affordable homes or rentals. Rent prices in Leeds have surged by over 30% in just the past 5 years, with many areas of the city now becoming out of reach for middle-income families. This has created a situation where those who have lived in the city for years are now being priced out of their own neighbourhoods, while newcomers with higher budgets are snapping up available properties. For students, professionals, and families looking for long-term accommodation, Leeds is becoming a city where affordability is increasingly out of grasp. Alongside the housing affordability crisis, housing quality is also a growing issue. As demand for accommodation increases, some landlords are cutting corners, leading to poorly maintained properties that offer little in terms of comfort and safety. From damp apartments to overcrowded student accommodations, tenants are facing challenges that go beyond just high rents. For those considering relocating to Leeds, it's crucial to factor in the housing crisis and whether you'll be able to afford the cost of living without compromising on quality. If you're looking for a city with affordable housing and a stable market, Leeds might not be the best choice anymore. The housing situation is only getting more difficult, and it might be time to consider other cities before the crisis deepens. Number 4. Liverpool. Liverpool, a city renowned for its rich maritime history, iconic landmarks, and thriving cultural scene, is facing an economic decline that's affecting both businesses and residents. Once a hub for trade and industry, Liverpool is struggling to adapt to the changing global economy, and it's leaving many people concerned about the city's future. While the city remains a major cultural centre, its economic struggles are becoming impossible to overlook, making it a city that could be best avoided for anyone looking for long-term stability. One of the most pressing issues is the lack of high-paying jobs. While Liverpool has always had a strong workforce in industries like shipping, retail, and manufacturing, these sectors have been shrinking in recent years, leading to higher unemployment rates and fewer career opportunities, particularly for graduates and young professionals. The unemployment rate in Liverpool remains higher than the national average, and wages have stagnated, making it difficult for many people to achieve a decent standard of living. This economic slowdown is also having a negative impact on local businesses. Smaller shops and family-run establishments are struggling to survive in the face of rising costs, while larger chains dominate the commercial landscape. As a result, the city's vibrant local economy is losing its edge, and many residents are being forced to relocate for better work prospects. For families, young professionals, and students, job insecurity and a lack of growth opportunities in Liverpool are major concerns. If you're seeking a city with a thriving job market and a stable economy, Liverpool may no longer be the ideal choice. Its economic struggles could limit your ability to build a successful career or achieve financial security in the future. Number 3. Birmingham. Birmingham, the UK's second-largest city, has long been a key economic and cultural hub. Known for its vibrant music scene, thriving retail sector, and historical significance, Birmingham offers a lot of charm. However, behind the urban buzz, the city is facing a serious environmental crisis that could make it an increasingly difficult place to live, especially for those concerned about health and well-being. One of the most concerning issues in Birmingham is air pollution, which has reached levels that put residents at significant risk. The city is ranked among the most polluted in the UK, with pollution levels frequently exceeding safe limits. High levels of nitrogen dioxide, NO2, and particulate matter from traffic, industrial activities, and construction work contribute to the city's poor air quality, which has been linked to a rise in respiratory problems, heart conditions, and other health issues. For many residents, especially children and the elderly, the effects of poor air quality are becoming a serious concern. Studies have shown that the air in Birmingham is not only only contributing to chronic health issues, but also leading to premature deaths. In fact, the city's pollution levels are several times higher than the recommended limits set by the World Health Organization, WHO, making it one of the least healthy cities to live in the UK from an environmental perspective. But the environmental challenges don't end with air quality. Birmingham also faces challenges with waste management, green space access, and flooding, all of which contribute to a declining quality of life. For those prioritizing a healthy and clean environment, these factors may make Birmingham a less attractive option. If you value clean air, green spaces, and a healthier living environment, Birmingham's pollution crisis could be a deal breaker. It may be worth considering other cities with better environmental standards, especially if long-term health is a priority. Number 2, Manchester. Manchester, once hailed as the UK's industrial powerhouse and a major centre for commerce and culture, is now facing a declining job market that's making it harder for many to secure stable employment. While the city has seen a boom in tech industries, retail and creative sectors in recent years, the harsh reality is that job growth in these fields isn't keeping pace with the city's increasing population. For many residents, this has translated into unemployment, underemployment, and a lack of career progression, all major factors driving people to look for opportunities elsewhere. One of the most significant issues Manchester faces is the stagnation of wages. While housing prices and the cost of living continue to rise, wages have not followed suit. Many professionals, particularly those in entry-level and mid-level positions, are finding themselves stuck in low-paying jobs that don't provide the financial security they need. This wage stagnation is causing frustration among residents, especially for young professionals who move to Manchester in search of better opportunities. Additionally, unemployment rates in the city have been on the rise, particularly in industries like retail and hospitality, which have been hit hard by the effects of automation and economic shifts. Many workers in these fields are facing job insecurity, with no clear path for advancement or higher wages. For those with higher education or specialized skills, the limited job prospects are discouraging. If you're someone who values career growth, job stability, and a strong professional network, Manchester may not be the ideal place to build your future. The job market here is increasingly competitive, and for many, the dream of career success in this city is becoming more of a challenge than a reality. Before moving or settling down in Manchester, it's worth considering whether the opportunities align with your career goals. Number 1, London. London, the bustling capital of the UK, is often seen as the pinnacle of opportunity and excitement. However, behind its glittering skyline and cultural landmarks, the city is facing a high-cost crisis that's becoming unbearable for many residents. The truth is, living in London has become a luxury that only a select few can truly afford, and it's pushing countless people to reconsider their future in the city. From housing to daily expenses, London's rising costs are outpacing wage growth, creating a financial burden that many can't sustain. First and foremost, housing costs in London have reached eye-watering levels. Rent has skyrocketed, with the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment in central areas now exceeding £2,000 per month. For many, this means spending over half their income on rent, leaving little room for other expenses. In fact, the city's housing market has become so competitive that even those with steady incomes are finding it increasingly difficult to secure a decent place to live. Many are forced to move to the outskirts, where rents are slightly lower, but commuting costs and travel time have risen significantly. But it's not just housing that's becoming unaffordable. Groceries, transportation, and utilities have all seen steep price hikes in recent years, pushing the cost of living even higher. A trip to the supermarket, once manageable, now feels like a financial strain, and transportation costs, particularly if you rely on the London Underground, are draining wallets even further. For those without high-paying jobs, this growing financial strain can be suffocating. With wages failing to keep pace with the cost of living, many are finding themselves struggling to make ends meet, despite working full-time. If you're hoping to live comfortably in the UK, London's high-cost crisis may no longer be worth the sacrifice. If you're looking for more affordable options or a better work-life balance, now might be the time to start considering alternatives before it's too late. As we've explored, the future of several iconic UK cities is not as bright as it once seemed. From the high cost of living in London and the declining job market in Manchester to the pollution crisis crisis in Birmingham, these cities are becoming increasingly difficult places to live for many. The issues faced by cities like Liverpool, Sheffield and Glasgow, from economic struggles to rising crime, are significant factors that could make life harder in the coming years. If you're living in or considering moving to any of these cities, it's important to weigh the challenges against the benefits. While they still offer some exciting opportunities, there are undeniable factors working against long-term sustainability and quality of life. For those prioritizing affordability, job security, and a clean environment, these cities may not be the best places to call home. Now that you have a clearer picture of the challenges these cities face, you might be wondering, what's the solution? How can you avoid being caught in a declining city or make the most of your time there? Let's dive into some practical steps you can take. If you're living in one of these cities or considering relocating, there are several solutions you can explore to secure a better future. Consider relocating to smaller cities. If you're struggling with the high cost of living, job instability, or rising crime rates, smaller cities or those on the outskirts of major metropolitan areas may offer a more affordable lifestyle. Cities like Cardiff, Nottingham, or Leicester may provide lower living costs, better quality of life, and a less stressful environment without sacrificing the opportunities you're looking for. These cities are often overlooked but can offer a balance between career growth and affordability. Explore remote work opportunities. With the rise of remote working, many people no longer need to live in expensive cities to secure a great job. If you can work remotely, why not consider moving to a more affordable area that still offers great amenities, natural beauty, and a healthier environment? Cities like Exeter, York, or even rural areas could provide the peace and cost-effectiveness you're after without compromising on career potential. Focus on your career growth in emerging cities. Some cities, like Bristol or Manchester, are still vibrant, but their job markets may be saturated in certain industries. If you're set on staying in a major city, consider shifting to a sector that's growing rapidly, such as tech, green energy, or finance. This can provide you with better job security and higher wages, making it easier to weather economic downturns. Prioritize affordable housing. Whether you're buying or renting, housing affordability is a major concern in many cities. Look for neighborhoods that are still emerging or have recently undergone revitalization. They may offer more affordable rent and property prices without compromising on amenities and lifestyle. Be proactive in your search and consider moving to areas where rent prices haven't yet inflated. Invest in health and safety. If you're concerned about rising crime rates or pollution, consider moving to areas with lower crime and better environmental conditions. Many cities offer greener spaces, cleaner air, and more community-focused environments. Smaller, well-connected towns might offer a better quality of life without the constant pressures of larger urban areas. By being proactive, planning ahead, and considering alternative cities or work opportunities, you can escape the rising tide of issues facing these cities and secure a more stable, fulfilling future. Whether you decide to stay or move, it's all about making informed decisions to ensure you thrive, no matter where you are. If you found this video helpful, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Do you agree with our list, or is there a city you think should have made the cut? And if you haven't seen our previous video yet, make sure to check it out for more insights like this. We put a lot of effort into bringing you valuable content, so please show your support by hitting that subscribe button. It's just one click, and it means the world to us.